Hello, everyone. It is Brian. It is Tuesday, and we are here. Forgot what I was gonna say. There's like some weird siren going off, and I don't know what it is. Hopefully, it's some kind of test. Anyway, we are going to continue to talk no matter what. So I'm wearing a special T-shirt today. Sheepdog Impact Assistance. I don't think I've actually talked about that on here. I'm gonna do talk to that as I wait for people to show up. So Sheepdog Impact Assistance is a local organization here in Northwest Arkansas. I think they might have another branch or whatever you want to call it somewhere else, maybe Oklahoma. I can't remember. Anyway, it's an organization I've been working with for probably about 7 years now. Cool thing is, it's all about helping the people that help us, our protectors, our people that serve us. So, like military, police officers, firefighters, first responders. Those are the people this organization helps out, and they go through some traumatic stuff, and so they are there to help these people when they go through things. The other really cool thing, and the reason I bring it up, is they give these people purpose. So like with the tornado that just destroyed like Nashville, they actually organized. They got their guys together and drove to Nashville and are down there helping. And it's just crazy that they're so helpful. Anyway, I bring all that up. One thing I do to try and help them out is when I do book weddings, I make a donation to them. There's actually another organization, and I give my couples a choice of which they want to donate to. But anyway, I saw that they were out doing stuff in Nashville, so I thought I would just give them a shout out and something to talk about while I wait for people to show up and get to this. Anyway, it is Tuesday, and I love Tuesdays. Tuesdays are fun. I actually get to go play basketball later tonight, and I'm excited about that. I don't get to do a lot of competitive stuff anymore, so old man basketball going on Tuesday night. All right, I think I've been talking for long enough to wait for some people. Anyway, what we're talking about today, I just thought it'd be fun to share some of my favorite things that I've seen at weddings. I've seen some really cool stuff over the years, and there's nothing wrong with being traditional. But these are some of the things that I think can make a wedding really special, really different, really interesting, really unique. One that people are going to remember for a long time. And so that's what we're talking about. So feel free to steal any of these ideas or take it and twist it into something new, or completely ignore all of them. It is perfectly fine. All right, let's see if I can jump over. There it is. And let's see if I can make this full screeny. All right, here we are. So some of these are very general ideas with just stuff underneath it, and there are other things I could have talked about as well. So when I say favorite, it doesn't necessarily mean like all, but yeah. I'm just making sure that I'm live here on our group. I have two computers, one that I'm talking to and one that I'm staring at on the side to make sure. Oh, yes, I am on here. There I am. Okay, so I just wanted to make sure we're good. All right, so jumping into this. So I always feel like weddings should be emotional. There should be some heartfelt moments there, and there's different ways you can set that up. I mean, there's always going to be some moments that just happen at a wedding. I mean, walking down the aisle is always going to be an emotional moment. The father-daughter dance is always going to be an emotional moment. But there are some other ones that people tend to not do that I really enjoy myself. And that's the first two are when the couple actually do something. So personal vows. I get tired of listening to people repeat what an official is telling them to repeat. I mean, I hear the same vows over and over again, and I know why people do it, because they don't want to come up with something themselves, and they're afraid they'll forget it or they'll say something, I don't know. But I really love it when my couples do personal vows, because it's so much, it's more personalized. You know, I mean, they're talking about the person they love, and they're telling you why they love this person. and how they plan on treating them for the rest of their lives. And it's just fun for us to listen to that, but also to watch the other person react to that. It's very emotional and very engaging and interesting. Some people don't like doing that in front of a crowd, though. So if you don't want to do it in front of the crowd, the next thing would be to write a letter, which is kind of the same thing. You're expressing yourself, expressing your feelings about that person. And there's a few different ways you can do the letters. You can exchange them and like have the other person read it before the ceremony. I've also had it where at some point after a first look or after the ceremony, they read the letters to each other. But again, so much emotion there. It's so special. It's such a great memory for myself and for them. And a lot of people miss out by not doing that. Another one that I've always found interesting is when you pick your officiant, if you pick someone that really knows you and is really important to you, that officiant is going to say things and it's going to be special. It's not going to be your the same thing that they say at every wedding. I have been sometimes it'll be like back-to-back weekends with the same officiant and they say the exact same thing at both weddings. And I mean, they don't notice it, but I mean, how special is that really if they're just using some template that they've been repeating over and over again? But if you're officiant someone that you really know, they'll say something very deep, very connected to you guys because they actually know and care about you. All right. And these are in random order, so there's not really any particular reason why I did it. It's not like this is number one or anything. So I really like when I see something unique that they leave for the guests, their gifts for them. Some of the ones I've seen was a family cookbook, which I thought was really cool. Like they gathered recipes from both families and created this cookbook that they gave out to the guests. So it's something you can actually use. It's something real. I had I'm trying to remember exactly what she was. I don't think she was a geologist, but she ended up working for NASA. So she was really interested in rocks. And so for her guests, she had like these fancy rocks that she gave out. And I just thought that was interesting and very unique. And it connects to who she is. One of the last weddings I did, they gave out dog treats, as you can see the image. The funny part is they had to make that announcement like, don't eat these. These are for your dogs. Because someone would have eaten it and it would have been hilarious. I've also seen people give out like the seeds for plants or seeds for trees or even just like little plants. But again, my thing about most of these is they're either unique or it's something actually useful that you're not just going to throw away. And I think that's special because then if you do plant that tree, every time you see that tree, you're going to think about them. Every time you use that cookbook, you're going to think about those people that contributed to that cookbook. I like food. And, I forgot to put the other one on there. I like food and I don't always get to eat at weddings, but I usually do. And I like it when it's something different. I mean, there's nothing wrong with catering companies. I love all the catering companies around here. They're awesome. But there's something really cool when it's something unexpected or different. Like one of my friends' weddings, they had this taco truck show up, so like a food truck, and they had these gourmet tacos. And I've seen that a lot recently where it may be cheaper or easier, or maybe it's just the food you want, where you'll have a food truck actually show up and prepare whatever it is for your people. I also love this. I've only seen this, I think, maybe twice, but an actual ice cream truck showed up and people were able to get ice cream from an ice cream truck. I mean, that's just so cool. It reminds me of like my childhood or whatever. And just getting that, I mean, it's different than just having ice cream sitting out because you're getting it from the truck and there's just something cool about that. I've also seen like non-traditional desserts. So instead of having cakes, sometimes people have cupcakes. Really interesting one was they just had pies, like family members made pies. And so again, it's something special. It's going to save you money and maybe you just don't like cake. I don't know. The other random one I saw in there, and this has only happened once, is people they bought instead of buying like fancy food, they just bought a bunch of pizza. And I mean, this one I've seen a food truck to do pizza as well, but I've also just seen someone like go and buy like 10 boxes of pizza before. So if you're not planning on something being like really fancy, or there's nothing wrong with pizza, and everyone loves pizza. All right, moving on. Oh yeah, and guys, if you have questions or whatever, feel free to comment, because I am actually looking at the live stream on my other computer, so I can see if you're saying anything. Okay, exits. So we all know what the most popular wedding exit is. It's by far sparklers. Like 30 years ago, I guess it was people throwing rice at you. But now, like, if you did rice, people would be like, oh, what's this? So it's funny how things change over time. So we all want to do an exit because it's fun and it gets people involved, and the photos are usually pretty cool. But everyone does sparklers. Again, there's nothing wrong with sparklers, but if you want to do something different and memorable, try and find something different. So one thing I've only seen this happen once is they gave everyone a balloon and they released them into the sky as they ran out. So, no, someone just contacted me. Anyway, so I mean, the cool thing about that is, it's just different. People again are not used to that. The photos turn out pretty cool because you see all the balloons flying off in the sky. The only thing I'd make sure is the venue's okay with you doing that. I've done several glow stick ones, so that's pretty cool. Like, people are waving glow sticks around and it's going crazy, and you get these streaks in the photos. I also did one when they did I think they called it like a glow stick bomb. So everyone had like handfuls of these. I should have found that photo. Handfuls of glow sticks, and when they ran, the couple came by, they just threw them up in the air, and it was like showering glow sticks down on everyone. You could also do bubbles, and probably the most unique one that I've ever seen is they actually made a banner for the couple to run through. So the groom was a coach. So it makes total sense. I mean, if you played sports, like one of the most fun things to do is run and crash through a banner right before the game starts. And there's just something, I don't know, again, childlike and just fun about that. So have like a banner made and the couple runs through it as they exit. I just thought that was really, really cool and fun. Okay. Groom's cakes. I love groom's cakes because they show the personality of the groom. And the grooms don't get a whole lot. Let's be honest. Grooms don't get a whole lot to say about their wedding. The groom may not even be that interested in the wedding, but I find that groom's cakes are very cool and very interesting. I've seen a lot of sports related ones, a lot of football fields or football related things. I've seen a lot of Oklahoma ones, which is kind of interesting. But also I've seen some that have to do with hobbies. One of my favorite ones from a long time ago was like a Tough Mudder one, which is this like running competition event that I've done myself and the groom had also done. So it was a Tough Mudder cake. I've seen fishing ones, but anything that the groom actually cares about. Mine from my wedding was actually a poker groom's cake, which I thought was pretty neat. And then you could do things like TV shows, movies, like we have this amazing Game of Thrones cake on there. So give the guy a chance to have a groom's cake and let him pick what it is. Or, which I saw recently, it could be a surprise and the groom the bride decides and makes it a surprise for him. That's always kind of fun as well. All right. So initially when I put this on here, I put jokes. But I think it sounds better if you say surprises. And not everyone is going to appreciate this, and not every bride would appreciate you doing some of these things on this list, but I've found it pretty hilarious, and it adds definitely a little bit of spice to things when you throw some kind of surprise into the mix. So the first one up there is the image. So I've only seen this once, but there's a lot of videos of people doing this lately. Is you do the traditional first look, but you put a groomsman in a dress. So when the groom turns around expecting to see his bride, there's a guy in a dress. And it's pretty funny, the reactions that you get from this. The next one I've actually seen twice now in weddings, where the best man pretends to drop the ring during the ceremony. And all you have to have is like a coin in your hand. So like boom, boom, and you hear this ding, ding, ding. And of course the bride and everyone freaks out, and then it turns out it's not real. Some of these other ones I haven't seen yet, but I thought they would be interesting. So groomsmen are known for being stupid and doing crazy things. So I can imagine one pretending to be injured, like doing something like, oh, I broke my leg, but not really, just to freak people out. I actually have seen someone drop a cake and seen a cake destroyed. So this one would be fun just to mess with people. So like you get a fake box that looks like a cake box or something, and like you trip and you fall and you smash it. Again, not all brides would appreciate this, but it could be kind of funny. This one is real. I had a guest during the reception sneak off, get into a dinosaur costume, and then come out to the dance floor to dance with the bride. That was pretty funny. So as far as surprises that are not just like kind of mean and joking, it is fun to surprise people with gifts. That happens a lot with the bride and groom, like a special gift that they surprise them with, or a surprise gift for the father of the bride. And those are the good surprises that don't make people get upset. Okay. Ceremonies can be kind of repetitive, and kind of like the vows. I just see the same thing over and over again. So there are a few things I've seen over the time that I thought were interesting and unique. The first one I've seen a few times now, so it's starting to catch on. Mainly, you have to have kind of a religious feel to this, but they do like basically a prayer, and they ask everyone in the audience to extend their hands. They extend their hands towards the couple to kind of pray with them. And even another kind of a more personalized one, I've seen a group prayer where they invite people to come up to the stage to surround the couple, to put their hands on them, and they do like a special group prayer over the couple to bless them or whatever. I've also seen a lot of music at the ceremonies that's been special, whether it's an actual group of musicians or it's like the sister of the bride singing. And I always think that's special to have something a little different like that instead of just playing an audio recording. Oh man, I should have put this photo up here. I didn't have time to do it. Instead of having your traditional flower girl, you could have an adult flower girl. The one time I saw this, it was like she was like the same age as the bridesmaids and brides. But I've also seen where people like have the grandmothers be the flower girls, and I think that's really cute and special as well. Definitely different and not something people would be expecting. Boop. Confetti. I know this one's very random, but I just like confetti. Some of my favorite photos I've ever done were involving confetti. And so it's fun for me. It's fun for people. And I feel sorry for whoever has to clean it up, but that's not me. So you could use confetti for an entrance, which is what happened in this case. That's why it's inside the venue. They gave everyone these like confetti wands, and I don't think they knew how much confetti was actually going to come out of them because it was like a whiteout. Like some of the photos, I couldn't even see the couple because there was so much confetti. And so for the rest of the reception, the floor was like covered like it was snowing. So of course people played in it. We made confetti angels. You could do the same thing with an exit, but again, make sure the venue is okay with it because it's going to be a big mess. I did a special photo of, it's actually the cover photo of the group with a little confetti cannon thing I bought from Walmart. And I just had the couple kiss, and I had a bridesmaid fire this confetti cannon behind them, and it turned out really cool. So in general, confetti is just fun to play around with as long as you're okay with cleaning up the mess. I like vehicles, and I don't see this as much. People, renting or having special vehicles used for different purposes. One of my favorite ones was an actual party bus. So they had a giant wedding party. It was like 13 people on each side. So like 30 people almost in the wedding party. And so they packed this bus full and drove them to the reception. Now, I wasn't on that party bus, but I can only imagine the fun and craziness that happened on that drive. I like classic cars. I think those are always a cool thing. It's fun for the guy to drive, but it also can be used for photos, which I really enjoy. If you're a motorcycle person and you can somehow manage to get her in a different dress that's not going to get caught in things, that might be kind of cool. I think special vehicles are fun for people, and it's also kind of an interesting prop to use for photos. I know some of my favorite photos involved classic cars or different vehicles. Oh man, cats. Oh, so I always love to see how people keep their guests entertained. I mean, the most common one is a photo booth, but even with that, you can do something different. Like they made their own props in this one. Those are the bride and groom's cats. So they took photos of them and actually turned their heads into props for the photo booth. Karaoke, which I believe I spelled wrong and forgot to correct. That would be fun if you could have like a little karaoke machine for people to sing into. It could be entertaining and hilarious. I see this more than anything, some kind of table games. So it could be just things that they're filling out at their table or just little games for them to play. And yard games are really popular. So you could have like Bago out there, or I've seen giant Jenga. Lots of different things. But it's always just interesting when you give your wedding guests something fun to do. And I love seeing how people come up with different things. I was actually talking to a bride recently, and their whole wedding theme is game night. So I've been talking to her about some really cool ideas that they're going to do to keep their guests entertained. Boop. Is that the last one? Was that 10? Did I really do 10 already? Let's count, because I feel like I forgot something. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That was 10. Okay. So again, guys, these are not all the ideas in the world. But some of the ones that popped into my head that I thought were fun, that I thought were unique. And again, feel free to take any of them. I mean, take anything that I've shown on here and use it, change it, twist it, make it your own. But I really do like it when people make weddings unique to them, because I mean it's your day and it's supposed to be about you guys. So find things that fit with your personalities, with what you like doing, and make it fun and interesting for people. Don't make it boring. And I mean, even if you do just like one or two of these things on here, I think it's going to make the day more memorable and more interesting for you and for all the people there. Okay, I'm gonna looking real quick to see if anyone has commented. I don't see any comments. That's okay. Okay, so I did put it's not called a questionnaire. What is it called? I can't think of what that's called. A survey. I guess it would be a survey. I put a little survey up on the page, and I've had probably about 7 people respond to that. So I'm going to try to make a video next time covering whatever it is people need help with. So if you haven't voted on that, make sure you vote so I can know what is important to people and what they're struggling with. And so I can make a video that actually is relevant to you. And again, guys, at any time, if you want to contact me, if you have questions about things, I'm very open to helping you, because that's what I'm here for. All right. I do not see any comments, so I'm going to say exit first. There, now I can see what I'm doing. I'm going to say adios, guys. Have a wonderful Tuesday. Hopefully I don't get hurt playing basketball, because I am old and frail. See you guys.